find how should we clone what is already in the market, or you so that is the build part, or you
Right.
just latch on something which is already there and build on that. So
Right.
and this is a build versus buy decision. It's a very difficult fail, not because LLM or the model is bad. It is because
Right.
people are not ready to adopt it for multiple reasons. It is not in the flow. It is not easy for them to use it.
Right.
Sometimes it is just the status quo. They are very comfortable in their environment.
I have a treat for you all. Been on location here at Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas for the Put Data First conference. We are having a blast, and today I'm really excited to be joined by Ritu. Welcome to the Signal Room.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for agreeing to just sit down and have a conversation. I think it's been remarkable how much passion and enthusiasm we're running into in this room over the last couple of days. And getting to meet you has been wonderful, and meeting so many different people. It just seems like we're at a really different point, because when you're at the beginnings of a transformation of any kind, people tend to be a little tentative and kind of laid back, kind of waiting to see how this is going to play out. But everyone's leaning in and they're so excited. So just maybe just to start with, just tell me a little bit about your background. I mean, I know you're doing AI strategy and, pretty cool stuff, but I don't think I've seen you without a smile on your face since I saw you yesterday for the first time. So you clearly are passionate about what you're doing. Love to understand what's behind all that. And
Absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. I am glad that I could make it. I was kind of skeptical that should I be going it, taking 2 days off,
Right.
Monday to Wednesday. It's tough, but I think I made a right decision to be here. There was so much in the room, and
Right.
in terms of energy, and
Yes.
to learn that from each other, how things are happening. But starting with my background, so I'm in this industry, I would say almost 2 decades, so very long. My degree, I would say, I'm an engineer, and first taste of AI, I would say, was my research, which I did in neural networking, and during that time, it was very specific use cases. So how do you do the digital signal processing?
Right.
That was my PhD paper in my engineering.
Mhm.
And then that was also a time when software was taking shape.
Right.
So started my career as an analyst, and from there, I would say AI, it is like almost 12 years. During the time, I left that neural
Right.
engine and that neural processing, but then came big data. And that was just a talk of the town. Since then, I was part of Accenture strategy and consulting for their applied intelligence. Did my startup for a while, and then I realized that, okay, I should be an enterprise doing something more in a generative AI space. So now for
Right.
every commercial, I'm on AI product strategy, putting together the AI product, which is our commercial.
That's exciting. How are you finding it? The challenge that I've been running into, because I've been on the chief data officer side in the healthcare sector. There's so many solutions coming at us from every direction. Generally, they are addressing a really small part of a very large gap that we try to fill. And the difficulties with that are primarily financial ones, because you can't afford to have 10 things to fill one gap, right? And then sometimes it's not even the right gap that we're trying to fill. So it's complicated, but in your job, what you have to think about is that not only is it the right solution, but strategically, when do you do certain things, and when is it going to be meaningful? When is adoption going to be a problem? When is it a risk and a compliance issue? Then there's just so many things that go into what you're responsible for. I just love to hear what your approach is.
Right, absolutely. And as you said, that there's so many solutions. So every day you see fish something else, and then you wake up and you find
Right.
another transaction in the market. So for a person like me who is responsible for putting together what the product strategy looks like,
Right.
finding out should we clone what is already in the market, or you so that is the build part, or you
Right.
just latch on something which is already there and build on that. So
Right.
and this is a build versus buy decision is very difficult.
Right.
The way I approach is starting from the end.
Mhm.
What we are trying to achieve, where is the value lies.
Yes.
And it's very easy. like looks like very complex, but looking from that, okay, where it is going to increase our revenue, where it is going to give us a cost saving. Starting from that angle, then going like a double, take a dip and say, okay, which are the areas where you can have these values quickly achievable? So that low hanging fruit. And then again, that I apply litmus test for that. Very simple litmus test. Anything where AI could help us before even finding that which is the right solution. First of all, is it an AI solution or not? So then it comes to like, do I have a digital like data? So if that this information is digital or not, can I verify? If I can verify, because if you can't trust it, you can't use it. You can't adopt it. So this is my first test for adoption. So once I have that, like a very quick litmus test on the viability as well as the feasibility side, and without involving too many people, then it comes to bringing the right. Because what I say that it's always the case, product fail not because LLM or the model is bad. It is because people are not ready to adopt it for multiple reasons. They are like, it is not in the flow. It is not easy for them to use it. Sometimes it is just the status quo. They are very comfortable in their environment. So that bringing them in like a mix from the beginning. So my question is, I use a very quick framework, stop, easy, and then slow. So basically, if I bring this product, what are the 3 things you are going to stop at tomorrow? So that helped me to bring them in this mix and the adoption from day. And then during the design, you design the product in such a way it is in flow. So it's not another point to solution. So for example, if I'm working on analyzing some information, and I'm in a rush, I don't want to go into another chat box and identify, okay, what's happening in the data. I want to know that, okay, hey, here is the 3% depth. Why it is happening? Can I do something about it? So can I have a conversation about it? And that's where it is easy to feel. Similar thing, if I'm working in my SharePoint and I have lot my content, I want to know like, okay, in last 1 month, what are the different things happening? Can I have a summary and just set it to my boss, right? So I need to have that my chat or my conversation right there, right? So that's the flow. And then the easy part is like, is it easy for me to navigate, or do I need to do a 3-4 steps, enable certain things, and then only I can use my product? So these are the 3 things on the product designing side, which is like I'm working with the technical, and that's where it actually helped me to not only bring a product which is useful, but people want to use it, adopt. So I think that's the way
You're seeing AI getting the same kind of interest and reactions that what dashboards were at one point in time. And it was amazing when we first started deploying them in my first experience, the very first one, it just caught on. People got excited, and all of a sudden they had dashboard envy. You happen to have a very well thought out problem that you wanted to solve, and the dashboard seemed to be the right thing. We work with you, you launch it, one of your colleagues sees it, and they're like, well, I want one. And they call me telling me they want a dashboard, and my team's going through it. It's like, they really just need a list. But then the worst part is the over-engineering. These people that design some of the solutions, I mean, incredibly brilliant people. And what motivates them and makes them tick is creating something that's really, really useful and it's powerful, but they can get really excited and over-engineer it. And I'm not nearly as technical as most, but I have tended to over-engineer some things myself. But the problem is, if it's not explainable, it's like a comedian telling a joke that no one understands the punchline. They're asking a question. If it's not self-evident, you didn't do it right. If you're not answering the very first question that someone needs to have answered, like you brought up a great point, is it going to enable a better decision to get made? What you're showing me change any decision that I can make at all.
Improving my agency, right? Helping me to do something better. So, and that's where it actually helps, because easiness, it's in flow. I'm not taking 3 extra steps, because as long as if you ask the people to do XYZ more, they say, I'm already overloaded. I already have so much in my plate, and you are asking me to use your product. I have to do 3 steps. No, thank you so much. I am going to use the same thing what I'm doing here. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's very
It's interesting. The quick reaction sometimes is because everyone's excited is they want to come up with a new solution. But one of the most glaring solutions that I saw in the last few years was at my doctor's office. And what they were doing that I'd not seen people doing well was so simple. I'm walking out the door to the waiting room, and she made the appointment for me right then and there. It took her 10 seconds, and she handed me a business card with the schedule on it. Gaps in care is a real problem in healthcare because the basics of clinical protocol are not pushed down to the levels they should be. So the physician knows when he needs to see the patient, but he doesn't do the scheduling. He doesn't probably even have access to touch the schedule.
Right.
But it was really as simple as in that particular practice, in that specialty, the kind of patients that they see there, the clinicians made sure that the front desk people who are interacting with the patients, they knew what the standards were. And they took care of it. And a piece of paper is something that people are trying to solve with a whole bunch of technology now.
Right.
But the right solution is sometimes it's an easy one,
I always say that just because AI is a shiny thing,
right?
not necessary. That is not a AI solution. So
Yeah.
should or could test. Should I be using the AI or and then comes to could. Like, can I do it?
Right.
So that's where the litmus test is.
Yeah.
First is the viability about that should, and that could is like, okay, do I have a digital information? Is it
Right.
and also like if it is very easy for human to do, like you gave example, why I should be making it complex and then put it into until I see
Right.
that future usage, or I want to scale it so that it could be extended. So yeah, these are the
Yeah.
decision as a product strategy.
Well, but the good news is that people that are really smart and can do those things, they have you. So you keep them grounded and they hey, slow down. I know you like to use your hammer, but we can actually use a piece of tape on that. It's really not that important.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what happens because sometimes you don't need a full baked solution. You just need, and that's where, and like you rightly said, this is such an important discussion because many times, especially if you're working with a tech team, to build a lot of things.
They're great at it.
They hear the idea and they say, oh, let's make a way, let's have a 20-member team,
Right.
then let's build it. And then my question is, wait a minute, within our kitchen, you may have certain tools which you can immediately start using it and at least have a 30% benefit right there.
Right.
So can we use that and then see the value adoption? Are people using it? That is a signal.
Right.
If people are coming back to your solution, even if it is half baked, then you know
Right.
that they like it. And then you want to make it better.
Mhm.
So like, just first of all, finding that do they want to go from point A to point B? So have that cycle and then make Ferrari.
Yes.
First to see that like they are taking that path.
The interesting dynamics, they tend to be cultural in a lot of ways. We've talked about this in so many different contexts over the last couple of days, but human trust is kind of a big deal. There's fear involved. People are afraid, oh, it's coming for my job. When you're working with teams and identifying the workflows that you're going to go after, oftentimes the experience has been that, oh, here they come. They're going to ask me to do something else that's going to change my workflow. And to your point, it's not in flow. And that's something that you look at. What are some things that you're dealing with trying to actually counter what those experiences have been in order to get them to be comfortable and willing to trust that, you know what, she's not coming for my job. She's trying to help me to become more valuable and work on more higher priorities.
This is such an important thing. And I think everyone, whoever is in like our shoe, need to think about because so when I say that like an easy framework for stop, easy and flow, the most important thing is then come start. So you're stopping something. What are you starting? So rather than asking that, what are you going to start is, my question is, what it is going to enable you to do.
Right.
You want to do it today, but you're not able to do this. And as soon as you say that, that's where you are catching on their trust because now they know that, okay, since the tool is coming, help me to be a better version of myself. Improve my, not the productivity, I would say, improving my decision
Right.
capability. So that's where you actually latch on and say, your job is not going anywhere. Rather, you are opening yourself for the better thing. And I like the way, so I was reading about it and Elon Musk say, most of the job would be gone with new tools that are coming with the physical AI.
Right.
And that jobs are something which you do not want to do. So
That's right.
if it is a dirty and difficult job from you are taking away from human scale,
Yes.
that's where they are not fear. Because I don't want to go into a ditch and find out or to do some kind of repair. That's
right.
difficult. I don't like to do it. But if something
Right.
can do it and I will just operate from while sitting on my desk and
Yes.
then move the robot and the robot can do.
Right.
That's what I would love to do. I'm not
Yes.
losing my job, but I'm getting a better tool which
Yes.
will help me not to put myself under.
Right. It's interesting working around data analysts, data architects, ETL developers
Right.
for a number of years. One of the things that I've observed, I'm sure you've seen it too, analysts spend easily 60 to 70% of their time wrangling the data, getting it fit for use, very little time doing actual analysis. And when you actually can automate the things, and they're a little nervous about it to begin with, because they see their value in a different way. So I've always had to coach my teams. You're not here because you can do stuff with technology,
Right.
and because you know all the technology.
Absolutely.
You're here because you're able to figure out what's the right solution to the problem that we're trying to solve. And it's what's in your head, what you know, and how you think, how you approach things, how you network with people. That's the stuff that really is valuable. But if you're going to talk to very, very effective to actually start to repair and restore some trust with the people, to your point, they're fearful of losing their jobs, right?
Also, I would say the most important thing, darkness is fear. So the fear is when you don't know.
Yes.
When you don't know what is coming and why it is coming. So start with educating your people. So that's why AI literacy is super, super critical. And it has to be sponsored from the top.
Right.
Like why, as long as humans are able to know that why it is, what it is, then they will find their own path. But if they don't know, then they will speculate.
That's right.
Because even for a good AI to work needs, as you said, that you are here for a reason because you know that this data works what way, right? So you have institutional knowledge. You have that kind of I would say the recipe that how people work.
Yes.
So
I like
going away.
Right.
And as long as people understand that, that's where they will start leaning in. That's where they will start adopting it. So then your whatever you see the barrier, it's slowly losing out. And that's where start with literacy, making it like from the top side. So for example, you record video with AI and then share with your team saying that, okay, I'm super excited. I got this tool. I got this video. And this has helped me to do the thing which I used to take 5 takes. Now it has done a 1 take. Tell me, what's your feedback? Now people know that, oh, my CEO is using it. I have to use it. And why don't I use it? So my CEO is not afraid, or my leader is not afraid.
Right.
So that's where you show them, inspire them, educate them.
I love that.
And help them to use.
I love that, because I think that the reality is there's a lot of people inside of large organizations that are taking it upon themselves because they're seeing enough, whether it's through friends, family, colleagues, they're experimenting, they're learning stuff already. So, not only is it important for the CEO or the executive team to be aware of it and learning things for themselves, they also need to understand that their teams are already doing it.
Absolutely.
They may not be doing it on their job. They may be, I don't know the answer to that. But there are a lot of people that are actually learning it. And I think that the mistake that we can make is really not delving into it. Sadly, and this is something I'm glad you're here you're the right person to talk about. For a CEO, their peer group are very high functioning people. They're very successful. Some of them may have a really great strategist that they lean on a lot. Some of them may not. One of the things that I'm really concerned about now is if there's a CEO out there that doesn't have access to a strategist, how on earth are they going to navigate? Because it's human nature. I can talk about buzzwords. I know what you're talking about to a certain extent, but I might not have enough understanding to know what are the steps I can take in the near term. And how do I avoid looking like I don't know anything, right? People need a trusted advisor, right? Maybe just talk a little bit about that. What should somebody be looking for? What's a CEO really going to benefit from? And what's so important about the work that you do? I mean, I understand it, but tell the CEOs out there how you can help them and what they should be looking for.
And so it's super basic, and it is not starting from AI. As a CEO, you must understand where your strength lies, where are the gaps, right?
Yes.
Or in that way, in any leadership role. So understanding that what I know, what I don't know. And then we used to call it like back in the days, Johari's window, that what you don't know, what you others know. So do some kind of a strategic tool and framework, like good Gallups and all that. So understand your operating framework. Self-awareness is the critical one. Once you understand that, like, what is my role and responsibility and what I bring on the table. Now you need to know that in order for me to fulfill my role and responsibility, here is the gap.
Yes.
And ultimately, we are humans. Accepting that with the self-awareness that here is the gap. And that gap.
Yes.
Don't really shy away. So bring those people, whether like a partner with the consulting firm, or have somebody on your like back pocket as a strategist.
Right.
Nowadays, AI tools are also helping you to at least have a kind of a starting point.
Yes.
Find out that, okay, what these like basic question at least.
Yes.
Little awareness. So you can self-educate yourself as well. But again, having said that, like, you may have the superficial level information, but in order to, like, you are a CEO, right? So, and you have a stakeholder responsibility as well.
Yes.
So understanding that gap and then filling, I would say that every CEO should have AI advisor directly reporting to them.
Yes.
I
agree with you.
And if you don't have, if you are going via path of CDO and all, I think that's a mistake.
No, I agree with you.
Because if you have an AI strategist who has a great knowledge about the subject and then have spent good time, again, I would say that this AI advisor should also be a mix of technology plus business. Because somebody who just knows technology, does not understand business, cannot be a good advisor.
Thank you for saying that.
Choice of somebody who has that delivered outcomes in a business front.
That's right.
And they now have a strong knowledge of AI subject. They should be your advisor.
Your best technical people are going to have a bias towards doing technical things. Right. And we want them to do that.
Yeah.
But we have to have the two things coming together. And it is a unique person that actually can see those things and figure out how to marry them and how they should collaborate and work together.
And there is a firm called ThoughtWorks, and they have coined it a generalist expert. So that's which is like generalists who have seen a different facet of business, have a business degree of business knowledge, delivered outcome, your revenue and top and down metrics. And then they are very good understanding of technology. That's the best combination you want to give.
I totally agree with you. As we're wrapping up, if people want to get in touch with you, how do they find you?
Yeah, best way, LinkedIn. So, and it is very simple. My first name, last name, you can find it.
Beautiful. And for those of you listening, we will definitely put her information in the show notes. Ritu, it's been amazing to be able to sit down and talk with you. I really appreciate you taking the time and being with me. I'm excited. We've got so much great content that we've come out of these meetings with, and we still got some more to go. But I look forward to staying in touch with you, and I can't wait to have you on again. I'm sure there'll be plenty of new late breaking news the next time we talk. So again, thank you so much for taking the time. Thanks for being on the Signal Room.
Thank you so much. And it was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.